62% of Americans are still living paycheck to paycheck, making it the main financial lifestyle, reports find. Now, you can see that I'm on CNBC's website. You can also see that this was published October 31st, 2023. So that is what this video is going to be about. Particularly, I'm going to share with you how I stopped living paycheck to paycheck. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Horace, also known as La Machine. Spoiler alert, I have a business. I sell on Amazon and I sell on Walmart, and I've been teaching how to do that since 2017, but I never really looked at I never really gave a lot of thought about how it stopped me from living paycheck to paycheck. So I decided, why don't I make a video that could possibly help others, maybe help you. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you'd like to do something about it, take heart. You're in the right place at the right time. I'm going to show you my way. Now, there are other ways. There are many ways that you can possibly stop living paycheck to paycheck. You know, you might try things like being more frugal, not having coffee at Starbucks, things like that. I personally, I don't subscribe to that. Why not figure out another way to get more money in and understand where I'm coming from with this, right? I work a regular full-time job, and then I have a business. That is how I stopped living paycheck to paycheck. Now, notice, I did not say I started a hustle. I did not say I started a side hustle or anything like that. I started a business, a legitimate business. Mine is an LLC, which is a corporation. You don't have to have a corporation. That's just the way I did it. So I'm going to talk about what I did and what has worked for me. The big takeaway is I started a business. So this video is going to be about how that affected me. If you're not interested in changing, let me just get this out of the way right now. If you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't want to change, that is perfectly fine. Please don't let me waste your time. You can go right on back to doing whatever got you into living paycheck to paycheck. And the beauty is, with the power of your thinking, you can be okay with that. But for those of you who actually don't like living paycheck to paycheck and want to do something about it, and at least want to be aware of another way, a method that can help you get out of that, stay tuned. I'm very, very happy to be able to show you. And remember, guys, I'm not one to just do a lot of talking. We're going to roll our sleeves up and we're going to look at my numbers. That's right. Today is January the 26th, 2024. So what does that mean? That means we're going to look at my W-2s from 2023. We're going to look at my 1099Ks, because this is a real business, not a lot of talk, real business. So we're going to show out my numbers, and then you can see for yourself what I'm doing. And if by chance this could be helpful, maybe you want to apply some of what I show you. So let's jump into it. So number one, you saw the report. It wasn't me. Don't shoot the messenger. This is CNBC that did this. 62% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck. That's over half. And it's just not a good place to be. That's why I'm making this video. So this is going to sound obvious, but let's just talk about it. In my opinion, why would you want to stop living paycheck to paycheck? So number one, as far as I'm concerned, one reason is when you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't build any type of financial future for yourself. In other words, you can't build any type of savings. You can't have an emergency fund in case something comes up. You can't really invest. You can't put anything aside for retirement, things of that nature, right? We're not getting any younger, guys. I'll be 55 this year, and I'm not some special guy. I'm just starting to really get my finances in order. But I'm going to tell you in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how not living paycheck to paycheck has really been beneficial for me. And another thing that's very, very important, and I've experienced this over the years, when you live paycheck to paycheck, that is exactly what you're doing. Everything comes in and everything goes out, and life doesn't care about that. Life says, you spent all your money? Good. Now your transmission went out. Now what? Now there's a roof leak. What you gonna do now? Now the washer, the dryer, all sorts of things life is going to throw at you. Financial things are going to come up. And if you're not prepared, you're going to do what I used to do, which was just use a credit card and go further into debt. It just takes you into a never ending hole that it'll literally feel as if it's insurmountable. Like you'll never get out of it. You can get out of it. It's going to take some work. But this is not the video that talks about budgeting and, restricting and doing with that. That's not what this video is going to be about. This video is going to be about empowering you. Now, I'm saying I started a business. I've taught on this channel since 2017. And I've grown the business since then. You guys have seen it. You can go back over probably 450 videos by now, or somewhere thereabout. You can watch the progression. Okay. I was still in my 40s. So think about that. So why would I suggest you start a business? So here's how it has helped me. I don't depend so much on my job. I'm not the type of guy that says, oh, you need to fire your boss. You need to quit working for the man. You need this, you need that. I like having a job. So I'm not telling you to quit your job. What I'm telling you is, for me, because I have the business in addition to the job, I don't feel the pressure to work a lot of hours at my job. I work full time. But I'm not the one signing up for overtime. Now, there are times where my company is forcing overtime. Well, that's just the way it is. I'm a truck driver by trade. You leave when you're supposed to leave and you get back when you get back. So I do work overtime, but that's not something that I'm stressing about. Do you know what it's like? I know what it's like. Do you know what it's like when you're signing up for overtime and you're always concerned? Oh, did they offer any overtime? They're not offering any overtime. And now my life is dependent on overtime wages. I don't need that. And it's very comforting. I go about my work in a very relaxed manner. I remember one time with this job. Now you guys may know, I'll get into the story, but I've only been at my current job since September the 7th. And at one point my manager was saying, well, we can't work you on your regular work day because of da 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 da. And I was like, well, that's fine. I won't work. And he kept saying, yeah, but we got to get you in here. We can get you in here this day, that day. And I'm like, what is the big deal, man? So I finally said to him, listen, I'm not the worker that has to have 40 hours or everything falls apart. We don't need to stress about getting me my 40. That's when I learned this job guarantees 40 hours, but they ain't just trying to give it to you. So because they are charged with making sure that we all get 40 hours, they're trying to make sure we work for it. Because if we don't, they still got to pay it. And it's just another example of how I don't stress over stuff like that. You're going to love not stressing over exactly how much you make and making sure that you get overtime, or I don't even worry about getting 40. I get it. I'm there for 40. I, applied for the job expecting to get full-time work, but it's not an emergency if for some reason there's a day that I can't work. Another reason, and again, I think this is very, very important for your dignity, for your pride, for, your sense of ownership and things of that nature. Having a business has really given me a sense of freedom, a sense of control. When you have a business, it's yours. You can't get fired from that unless you're going to fire yourself. But, it's really nice having something that you create and you can scale it. Whatever you want to do, whatever it takes, you can do it. But guys, I'm going to tell you a short story. Well, I'm going to try to make it short. You know how I am. But, I want you to think about something. If you're watching this channel, you're probably one that gets into personal development. You watch a lot of videos and you constantly learn how to make money. And what you hear the pundits and the experts and the gurus talking about, they love using this scare tactic. Oh, you could get fired from your job. You could be laid off. They could go out of business. And you think about that when you watch the video and you kind of feel like, yeah, that's great, but that's not going to happen to me. See, that's the way I was. You know, you would hear me saying, well, you got this job and it can be taken away from you. I never thought that would happen to me. And guess what? Just this past July, you know what happened? My company said, hey, Horace, we're going out of business. They didn't give a warning. They didn't say, well, you got 3 weeks, you got 3 months, you got 3 days to get your stuff together. They just shut the doors. And what did that mean for me? That meant 21 years gone. That meant 5 weeks vacation gone. That means seniority. I could work the biz that I wanted, weekends off, stuff like that. Gone. I had to start all over. And I did not know where I was going to get a job. I was applying at 54 years old. I was applying for jobs. What kept me going? My own business. And now's the part where we got to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Enough yakking. Now let's look at how much I made last year from my work. That'll be 2 W-2s, right? Remember, I worked a job that I had been at for 21 years. They went out of business in July. And then I had to go get another job. And I didn't start until September the 7th. That's 2 W-2s. Then we're going to look at what I made in revenue, okay, from Amazon. And I also sell on Walmart. So let's get to it. Okay, so this is my W-2 from my job that I had for 21 years. Okay, that YRC you're looking at there, that stands for Yellow Roadway Corporation. And I worked from January 1st, 2023 to July 31st, 2023. And in that 7 months, I made $44,942.90. Then I had to find another job, remember? And I started that job September the 7th, worked it until December 31st, 2023. And on there, I drive for Sheets, guys. I'm a truck driver by trade, and I went to drive for Sheets. If you know who they are, so I haul fuel now to basically convenience store, gas station type deal. And there, I made $23,539.07. And if you add those up, you can see it. For wages, for my regular job, I made $68,481.97. And you know what? Let me talk to you a little bit about that. That's important because this is exactly what I mean. You talk to truck drivers out there, guys, it is nothing for us to make 6 figures. I've never made 6 figures because my business, I don't need that kind of money. I don't need to work. See, you can make 6 figures in trucking, but the operative word there is make. They're not going to give it to you. How many hours you think you got to work to make 6 figures? Let me tell you something. You're going to put in some work. Okay. That's great. I embrace work. So I don't have anything. I'm not going to say anything bad about working. My thing is I'd like to put a lot of my effort and energy and time into my own business. Now that's a personal preference. Some people could look at what I'm doing and they say, look, man, you could be making the kind of money you make. You could be making that with your job. And they are absolutely correct. So I'm not putting down regular work. That's just not how I am. I'm going to be fully transparent with that. See what's great about not selling you stuff? I can just be honest. Okay, so now what we're looking at is my 1099K. Now remember, like I said, this is a legitimate business. Amazon is going to issue you a 1099K. And anybody that's out here on YouTube talking about how much money they make, if they haven't showed you a 1099K, I don't want to hear it. Okay. I'm not saying that they're lying. I'm not saying that they're telling the truth. I'm saying I don't want to hear it. I want to show numbers. And I don't care that most people don't have the patience while you go over numbers, because they just want to see lifestyle and all of this stuff that makes them feel good. I don't care if they really don't want to go over the numbers. This is for the few people who want to see the numbers so that they know who they're dealing with. So here you can see gross amount, $212,872.83. That's what we did in gross sales on Amazon. Now we're going to look at what we did on Walmart. Now you'll notice it says PayPal because Walmart pays through a system called Hyperwallet. At least that's one of the options that you could have chosen when I started. So for the year, again, this is my 1099K for the year 2023. And we did what? $29,636.63. Guys, here we go again. These are not crazy numbers, right? I don't have to give you crazy numbers because I'm not trying to lie to you and tell you, oh, buy my course and you can make $1 million. I don't have to do that. It's so liberating. But the bottom line is this. If you add that up between what I did on Amazon, what I did on Walmart, $242,236.46. Now you might be asking, okay, how much did you actually make? I can't show you that just yet because I haven't gotten my tax returns. I haven't done my taxes yet. That's done with my accountant. If you'd like to see numbers like that, check out. We got a link down in the description. My producer may put a card up in the corner. We did a video that showed complete tax returns, everything for the year 2022. That way you get an idea of what I actually get to keep from that. Okay. I love showing numbers. So if you want to know, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to show the numbers. That's where I get my joy. And I hope you guys can appreciate that. As a matter of fact, do me a favor. If you made it this far, I know I can count on you. Please leave a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. This is what we're all about. Guys, there's a number in the description. We'll put it on the screen. Text me if you have any questions, if there's anything I can do to help you. I won't charge you for that. Okay, this is just what I do. Text the words working class hustler to that number and then go on and tell me what your issue is, what your concern is, what's your question. How can I help you? Cost you nothing. Don't worry. Most people won't do it because most people aren't going to do anything. You offer them your personal time, your personal expertise, your years of experience. Most people won't take advantage of it because that's just not what they really want. They just want, I don't know, I think the good feeling that they get when they're doing research or when they're learning, stuff like that. Then that's fine. But what we really want to do, myself, my producer, Jim, the lovely Miss Karen, my sidekick, what we really want is that one person that really wants to take action. But I got to tell y'all something. For those of you who are serious about this, I got to tell you something. You got to start now. Think back to the story I told you about my company going out of business and about how my own business saved me. Well, let me explain how that worked. It wasn't, oh, my company went out of business. Let me start an Amazon business. Let me start selling on Walmart and boom. That's not how it works. If you really want this to be there for you when you need it, when the unexpected happens, the best time to start that would have been yesterday. The next best time is right now. Right now, you got to do it. I'm going to give you a story, and this is true. Last week, a good friend of mine called me up. He said, Horace, I wanted to talk to you about, getting into Amazon because I'm in a situation and I can't work for like 3 months. And it hurt me to tell him the truth. Look, man, this is not cash, this is not a flipping business. This is a cash flow business. It's a real business. That means you're going to have ups. You're going to have downs. That means you have to be able to balance the cash flow. Money's always going out. Sometimes it's coming in too. It's always going out. You got to be able to balance that. It's going to take time to build momentum. What you going to sell? We don't know yet. You can sell everything pretty much on Amazon, but what are you going to sell? You're going to sell what you like to sell. Well, what's that? We don't know yet. What do I mean by that? Guys, I sell snack foods. That is not what I got into Amazon selling. You don't know where you're going to be led. You will be led to where you're supposed to be when you enter and start doing the work. But I can't tell you. I can give you, I can show you what I do. Shoot, we got the Snack Food Symposium, a full webinar that we did absolutely free. The link is in the description. You can watch that and learn exactly how I make money. Okay. And you saw my 1099 Ks, roughly 250,000. Wait, what was that? $242,236.46 I did selling snack foods. Okay. That's a lot of cheese doodles. We could get you in there and you could end up selling Nike shoes. You don't know. You just got to get started. The good news is there's always room for one more. I'm so excited for you. If you're serious about this, guys, you're in the right place at the right time. If you're thinking about, hey, what can I do now? What actions can I take that are going to help me be prepared in case of the unexpected? The way I do it is having my own business. The platform that I use is both Amazon and Walmart, primarily Amazon. But that's not the only way that you can stop living paycheck to paycheck. Some of you guys that are watching this video, you know ways that have worked for you. Please, 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 guys, be of value and service to someone else. Leave a comment and share with us how you stopped living paycheck to paycheck. I welcome it, and I know the working class hustlers do too. So I'm speaking on behalf of the working class hustler family. Please leave comments, share, and let's figure out together how we can not be in that 62% of Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.